Oi. Alô? Alô?
Tá desligado aqui na costa?
Oi? Alô? Tá batendo no talo lá, né?
Deixa eu ver.
Tá muito alto?
Vai lá, Diego, testar aqui.
Quer que eu vou lá?
Ele aqui, não precisa.
Ah, tô vendo aqui. Oi?
Vocês só estão vendo o Diego falando alô, né? Já pode estar funcionando o microfone, pode ir.
Eu, em alguns instantes,
Tem gente já da França.
tem gente. Vou falar para ele começar, tá?
Não, calma, não é 9 horas ainda.
9 horas é legal, o
Falta
pessoal já
bastante
entra
gente.
pra
Quantas
entrar.
pessoas tem?
Tem uma de Paris, tem uma da França, que está acessando. Tem da Cuba, tem 4 pessoas acessando.
Em alguns instantes.
Você derrubou? É. Deixa o
Tem
microfone
gente.
lá. Deixa lá em
25 years of business. Allergisa was the first company in Brazil doing cosmetic testing. So we keep working to be the first one in terms of innovation, in terms of quality, in terms of relationship with our clients. And so here is another opportunity to keep the place. Allergisa is working hard in terms of globalization. So many local partners and also international companies are interested in working globally. So we are expanding our operations outside Brazil. So probably this year we will have a new facility in the US, and we plan to keep growing globally in the next few years. So supporting our clients in terms of knowledge of foreign markets, foreigner population. Brazil is already a very interesting place to do tests because you can reach very diverse population. We have Caucasians, we have Afro-Americans, we have mixed skin, we have Asian people. And this is very interesting to have studies for different skin types, evaluating the treatment properties of this kind of products. It's something that we are doing effort also in terms of expanding our operations here in Brazil to have access to more different populations every day. So I believe also in terms of new business that we are doing. We are expanding for new segments as agrochemical industry that's very strong in Brazil with alternative methods, trying to diminish the animal testing. Also the in vitro methods, always bringing new technology. Our company, Dosage, that is focused on physical chemical, analytical chemistry, and microbiology, expanding also their operations in the pharmaceutical and agrochemical market. So we have a lot of things to discuss with our partners in the cosmetic markets and also pharmaceutical industry and other segments. So it's a big pleasure to have everyone here. I will not extend my speak because we have much more technical and interesting things to discuss. So I'll introduce my colleagues from Newtone. Jean-Michel is the CEO of the company. Pleased to have you here.
Thank you.
Jean.
Thank you so much. You global overview. It's dense. You will see it's lots of information. We try to go straight and with the main focus on the illustration because what we expect all our customers worldwide right now is to have a kind of wow effect to accelerate the sales of your products. So I am Jean-Michel Delaval and Mathieu Jaumier. I lead the company from France, where the head office is in Lyon. Fantastic town where you are all welcome to visit. And Mathieu is managing the US company, Newtone Inc., which is in Princeton. Okay. So this is our new website that we just delivered in December. After 15 years of existence, we didn't want to tell our story to no one, only to major customers. So nobody knows us until the big companies and the CRO right now. And now it's time for us to expand our relationship with the world. And today we are seen clearly as the expert in acquisition, analysis, and interpretation of skin and hair. All the appearance of skin and hair is fundamental for us. It's where we are working in vivo, in vitro. And we do, of course, image analysis to prove the clinical efficacy of the product and illustration. And for each claims we are going to present you today, we will show you what kind of illustration we can do before and after to increase your sales. We are 15 years old, so we become more mature right now, and we have 24 people. So everything you are going to see is managed by all those people. So you can imagine that it's a lot for so small amount of people. But we are very focused, and we have today 20 major companies worldwide, making 90% of our business. So all the company you are seeing on the right are our main customers with who we are dealing. So it's majority of course, dermocosmetics industry and active ingredients industry with whom we are working a lot. And we expand more and more and more in the dermatology pharmaceutical space, where all the big actors in the pharmaceutical industry are going to the cosmetic world for regulatory reason, for cash, for money, for all the opportunity that you have to deliver a new value of product in the dermatology space. I said we are not known, but we are only well known for publications. So we begin to do publication in 2015. So 10 years after we exist. At the beginning, we were not very credible to put some nice publication. We wanted to, but how to deliver a publication when nobody knows you? So we had a strategy to deliver for 6 years very high value technology to major companies in France, and after in Europe, and after in US, and after in the world. Today we expand our relation with the Asiatic market. Last year we didn't do nothing with Asia. I've been 15 days in Asia, and at the end of the year, 6 months after, it was in June, it was 7% of our income. So in Asia, everybody say, you go to Asia, you will see the benefit in 2 years. After 6 months, we made some deals with Shiseido, Kosei, Kao, all the major brands. So this is for us a fantastic opportunity. Why we deliver that? Thanks to publications. If you go to IFSCC or in the major congress worldwide, you will see some very nice paper awards, and our objective is to have Newtone name everywhere we can, when we can deliver some very high value offer, and this is what you can retrieve on our website in the publication space. From the first day of this company, at the beginning we were dealing with the industry for the paint, for automotive industry, food industry, everywhere, and after we focused very quickly to the cosmetic world. But the most important at the first day of the company is how to correlate human perception, your eyes, your brain, your culture, you as a human with instrumental control. So how to link the marketing world and the consumer world, and all those worlds don't speak the same language, but the eyes and your brain is making the analysis of what we are doing today, and everything we do needs to be visible by consumer. So we are not going to show you demonstration to say I will save microns on your product that nobody knows, nobody see, because consumer don't care about very small effect. They want to see something real. So this is where we are for skincare market, makeup, hair care, dermatology, and now nutraceuticals, which is the assembly of cosmetics and pharmaceutical. For that, the first things we do is image capture. So in the market, when we arrive in this market, everybody is using the gold standard, which is a VCR, which is the most known product in the world for face analysis. And we struggle with big companies that were not so happy about this technology, because with the chin and the front support, and so lots of issues that we are faced with, and we decided in 2013 to build our own technology. So we were 8 people at this time, and I invest lots of money to try to deliver some new technology that are extremely simple to use. You can ship it to the CRO, and 15 minutes after you can begin the study. There is no training, nothing. It's just an evidence, and this is what we are going to see with Mathieu. We do color face, NomadCam, DigiCam, SpectraCam. The first one is for the full face. This is the interface we have all together. When I see you, I just see your face. So skincare market, which is nearly 40% of 350 billion market. It's a huge space for the face. NomadCam is if I cannot bring the part of my body to the system, let's make the system going to my body. So it's NomadCam. DigiCam, no one had built a system to measure the second interface, which is the hand. So you have also the décolleté for the women, but the hand is very important. and the hand is the surface of the skin plus the nails. There was no system on the market to do that, so we have invented the Digicam system. And SpectraCam is where we have the most major publication to be able to extract cartography of melanin, hemoglobin, and oxygen. And we are the only one in the world to do that. We were competing with Johnson & Johnson on that. And 5 years ago, I've been to Skillman, and they said to me, you will never succeed to do oxygen saturation map. And 5 years after, we came back and said, we've done it. So it's not because we are small that we are not able to do things. And 24 people of the company today are doctors, engineers in maths and physics, and we have a very strong relationship with academics, and it helps us a lot to deliver high-value technology. The second point, after the capture, so the capture is your eyes, we capture information, and after we have to do the image analysis. So your brain now is going to analyze what your eyes just saw, and for that we need to have technology. So I don't know, you don't see so well. Perhaps we can shut down the light a little bit, no? Because what I see on my screen is very nice. Okay, it's better? It's better for you? Okay, so the second point is image analysis, how to do automation and interpretation live based on images that we are going to retrieve. All those images are going to be made by all our CROs worldwide. I will talk about it after. The quality of the image needs to be at the highest level to be able to extract some information from the image and invent even new claims on things we couldn't see before. And we are going to talk about with you about that. How to do real-time quality control to be sure that there is no error at the CRO space. So we are in the CRO space, but I can tell you anywhere in the world, a CRO business is very complex because you have to manage so much different technologies and operators are there, and we need to help the operator to have an excellent relation with the instrument to be very quick and very no human error as quick as possible. And finally, so we are able to delivering some very specific vision illustration I will talk about. And finally, the last one is a full web solution that is called Photoscale that we are shipping now everywhere in big major accounts. The idea is how to build your own grade of beauty. So you have a brand, you sell some products, you make analysis on those products, and you would like to see what is the grading from 1 to 10 of your product, and for that you need the consumer perception. So you send the data to the consumer, so here it's nitrogen and folds, and you ask to the naive people from the left and right image which one you prefer. Who is the most attractive woman, who is the most radiant woman, who is I don't know what, who is the most old, how old is this woman from your side. On this scale, on which scale you would like to say this woman is number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and now you have the analysis plus all the consumer connection with Photoscale. Mathieu will talk more about this after. Finally, we have to do a study report for regulatory reason, statistic, visualization, and most important, illustration. So we have invented lots of different ways to present illustration to the world. I will talk about this after. And again, it needs to be fully aligned with the consumer perception. Based on scientific data, this is our credibility. We have validation with publications, and after you can talk with your customer to say it's validated, it's scientific, it works, and here is the proof. The way we are organized is we are dealing directly with sponsors, so this is our main focus. I need to know everybody at L'Oréal, Dior, Chanel, but tomorrow, I don't know, Natura, Boticario, or companies that are implemented in Brazil, but also Shiseido, Kose, Kao in Japan, and Estée Lauder in New York, and how to do this. We deliver only to those names I just talked to you about, and we go to this company and we try to expand the relationships to prove our capacity to show the product effect, and immediately the link will be with the CRO local, because if I go to the sponsor with 24 people, how can I follow the market in Brazil if I'm not directly linked with Allergisa, who is the biggest one? So for us, it's critical to have and to deliver all our intelligence and value and support to Allergisa in order for Allergisa to be able to talk to you every day thanks to our technology and your knowledge based on who you are here today. The last one is academics, which is extremely important. We are linked with the top academics worldwide, where we have to be linked with people who are very brilliant in one specific domain. I don't know, confocal image analysis. Let's go to Manchester University, talk to Griffiths, Watson, and all those people who are very key. They don't know how to use those technologies. They just use the technology and they have the good knowledge. We will deliver the software to analyze those data very nicely, where nobody is doing this. Even the people who are making the confocal system don't have software to pilot them. This is crazy, but this is the reality. This is where we are going to deliver our value. Finally, the objective in 2018 was to deliver 9 color face worldwide, and for us it was a big success. But finally, we delivered 20 in 2018, 5 in 19, and the objective is to be able for a major company worldwide to do multicentric studies, because the more the company grows, the more they want to expand their market worldwide. So, of course, you need to be in Asia, you need to be in Africa, you need to be in India, you need to be in South America, and each time you have different culture, different skin, different hair, and you have to deliver value with CROs. And for that, instead of expanding our company to have offices everywhere, but with 1 or 2 people, we go directly to the CRO and we extend our technology to the CRO. We have approximately 100 CRO worldwide. We define 13 to 15 main CRO, and we need to be everywhere on the planet where our customer needs to do some clinical testing. And we have signed some deals with those companies like Allergisa recently, who is equipped with the color face system and with whom we are going to deliver value for the Brazilian market and also US market, but also European market, because we are working closely together on different markets in Asia too. Thanks to your fantastic opportunity with Liberdad, the Asiatic market is very interested to deliver value through Brazilian market, thanks to the, I don't know, nearly 200,000 people Asiatic community you have in Sao Paulo. How it works? So it's nice. We are a small company, very agile, and we are well known worldwide. We do publications. We are connected to the world. But it's very simple. We stopped all the activity from 2015 to 2016 to build a full architecture, which is called SciPass. This architecture is the way to connect different technology together. And if Allergisa is doing a study for L'Oreal in US, for example, today, we include the first subject. At the second, we take the photo of L'Oreal, see the image, and I see the image in France, and we can begin the analysis. So we shrink completely the time and the process, and you as a sponsor, if you don't like the inclusion, or if people have jewels and you say, but in my protocol we don't have jewels, I don't want to see the hair, or these people don't have acne, and this is acne study, but this is not acne for us. At the first 10, 15 people inclusion, you can deliver, go back and talk to a CRO and say, we need to arrange this, because if you don't see that, you have probably lots of examples. You receive the final study, and at the end, it's not exactly what you expected. So now we have this connection through the cloud. So Allergisa is connected to the cloud, and each time you have an image, we receive the data, you receive as a sponsor the data, and we can do kickoff meeting at the end of the first or 2 days to see how to deliver this value. As soon as we have all those data, we are able to do 2D or 3D image analysis based on the database that you are going to construct with your customer. At Allergisa, we are also able to deliver some artificial intelligence. So this is the fancy word, everybody talk about that. But we do artificial intelligence till 7 years. The name was not the same. It was deep learning or data mining or neural network. And this is what we are doing right now, to bring all those data together and to deliver to the consumer tomorrow some apps or some tools that will use the artificial intelligence to empower the business. All this architecture is a full web architecture, and it helps us to deliver maximum value to our customers. Now, we achieve a very high quality image to do analysis. So now we go more in your domain. So I think here we have cosmetics company and also pharmaceutical company or dermatology. Who is cosmetics? Who is more dermatology? I don't know if you can. Cosmetics people, just to adapt our talk. Who is more cosmetics in the room? Two companies? 5? Okay, and the others, you are more pharmaceuticals? Pharmaceuticals, who is pharmaceuticals? Okay, and the others? Both? Okay, let's go both. So here we have the 90% of the business that you are dealing every day. For skin beauty, anti-aging, skin imperfections, you see all the claims where we are active. Makeup, hair care, and health care. So in all those different claims, we have some algorithm to extract the value proposal. We will go back with Mathieu on that. What is critical when you go to in cosmetics and you visit 300 company in 5 days, I can tell you that 90% don't care about the technology. Not anymore. 5 years ago, everybody is, yeah, confocal, primo, 3D, fantastic, and now nobody cares. Give me the technology, but I just need a wow effect. That's all. I want to be different from my competitor. Give me an illustration that nobody's seen before. This is the need of the market right now. How to deliver value to the consumer in a very quick way, how to bring from the lab data to the marketing to say, hey, look, this is what you expect. Now the marketing doesn't invent things with very beautiful movie that you will pay millions. You go from a real data visible by the consumer and you use those data to give and deliver to the consumer the value that the consumer expects. Why? Because the consumer becomes very intelligent thanks to blog, internet, social networks, everything. And you can be named as L'Oreal if one Chinese girl from her apartment is sending a blog with data and she's connected to 9 million of people. In 2 days, a new Locom product can go down and nobody knows why. And what is the main difference with the digital organization now is that the brands are going to build some shops to be connected again to their consumer. And now it's no, of course, no shop, e-commerce and digital, and it's done. And now this is not sufficient. We lose all our consumer. So now the brands are making some shops, and you see shops of all the brands everywhere. And in the shop, as you are connected with your consumer, you need to have smart beauty diagnostic tool, very sexy, to do connection with the consumer and to present the effect of your product live. This is where we are going to do lots of activity for the wow effect. For that, we have not invented, but we have accelerated capacity to do mean faces. So here you see mean faces of different population. We have African, we have Korean, old, let's say old, not so old, but old Korean and young Korean people, and South American women. If we give this image to marketing, all the marketing will agree that, yeah, she's the égérie of Brazil woman. Yeah, I like her. She's beautiful. If you give one of those 50 women that we have combined to do only one woman at the end that doesn't exist, none of those women will be accepted by the marketing as an égérie for the brand because she's not nice enough or she's not the image of the brand. This one can be very nice. So here we have a first step to say how to deliver value and to know how he's going to hold a woman. So here it's an example of a Caucasian woman from 25 to, let's say, 45 or 50 years old. And what is very interesting to see is we would like to know how old a Caucasian woman during the time from 25 to 50. Because I am an aesthetic company and would like to know exactly when I should put Botox where. Okay, very nice. So let's make a study on 200 women, not 2,000, so we don't need to have so much women. And here we see that the Caucasian woman will have nasogenous folds that are going to come during the time. You don't see on the screen, but not very nice, but the pores are going to dilate and change the angle. You will see the dark circle coming, if you see the evolution of the image. You will see that the hair is going to disappear during the time, and you will see that the sagging here effect directly on the eyes is going to evaluate during the time. And what we've done for this, why we've done that, to educate people how to make it, for example. So now we have exactly the same woman after a makeup time, and you can learn to your consumer that if you don't want to show the sagging of the eyes, let's put some light here, or you can educate and make some discussion and blogs or lots of very nice things that the marketing can invent. Thanks to, I know the way evaluate a Korean woman from 20 to 50 years old, and I know how to help this woman to be more attractive or more nicer. So this is nice. This is how to understand the way evaluate the people. But it's not sufficient because those skin are beautiful, but you see the skin is perfect. There is no wrinkles, no spot, no heterogeneity, nothing. It's not human. It's not real. So we have done something fantastic. This woman is, we have 10 women at Newton. She's the average woman at the Newton in our company. So we just ask, we make photo and say, smile, it's nicer. So we have this nice woman, and we've just done a study in dermatology or cosmetics company on redness, and we have a fantastic effect on best case or mean case, but we don't know how to communicate with our consumer. So what we are going to do, we are going to take the skin of this best case. Let's say digitally, I put out the skin and I send the skin directly to the skin of my new face. This woman doesn't exist, but I will apply the skin of the woman that is the mean or the base case, and at the end I have a fantastic face, beautiful, and I will show the effect of the redness product directly on the face. So this is a way for us to use a face that is RGPD compliant because she doesn't exist. So you can use it as you want. It's free, but we use, and you can zoom and make any movie you want on this face to show the efficacy of your product. We can do mean face on Asiatic, and here I show you an old woman. So we make average face of an old woman, and we send the skin of the mean case of the study, and here is the results that you can see on the screen. All those faces are usable for marketing because they are perfectly aligned, symmetric, and people like it very much. So this is the first activity for illustration that we can deliver to our CRO and customers. Second one is that if we take the South America or Asia, it's nearly the same. We have lots of oily skin. So all those companies here are going to deliver product for oily skin. So how to do a sebum mapping? Everybody know a corneometer that is a 60 years old technology, or sebimeter from Courage Kazaka. I'm sure all of you knows those technology. But you deliver value with points, and that's all during 60 years. So we took an helicopter and we say, okay, what can we do with those points? Why we don't join those points together to do mapping of illustration and colors? We've done that for sebum mapping with the T zone that you see here, and we can do before and after effect. We can do the same on hydration, and we've done a lot of publication and works to show the efficacy of the product with this kind of mapping. For any kind of data that you have, we can take those data and try to find together how we can use those data to make a very wow effect significant that we can deliver to the consumer. You will see after the idea for us is for hydration product. You go in the shop, I want to take my phone, and it's just impossible to have an app in your phone. Everybody wants the app, but the app is going to play for 10 days. No one in this room is using more than 3 or 4 apps, or you are very, very addicted to your phone and you have lots of apps. But personally, I will use Uber, WhatsApp, I don't know what. But if I am very, if the cosmetics world is very important for me, I will use an app that is intelligent for me. So I don't need to have nothing in my phone. I flash the product. I am in the shop. I flash the product, not anymore a QR code, just the product. My telephone understands what product is it, and I will receive the mean effect or the base case effect of the study that I have done for this product, and I project it directly to my skin. We will show you this kind of, during the demonstration time, we will show you directly live on a laptop or on a tablet or on an iPhone the effect. This is, we were talking with a pharmaceutical company, you have lots of visitors and you need to deliver value instantly, or you are in a shop and you are making you launch a new product and you want a woman to take the photo of the people and see directly the effect on the phone. This is what we expect to do. Second things, lots of companies are making apps to say, I'm going to take a photo of myself.
ICAM system, this is a small probe used for skin, gloss, shine evaluation. If you have this kind of oily skin and you want to track and to follow the sebum quantification, if you apply a product and you take the measurement, it will remove the product each time you take the measurement. So you have to take another point on the forehead, for example, and then you don't track the exact region of interest. With this system, it's non-contact imaging system, so it will not remove your products. So this is a 2x1 field of view, and then this is like almost the same technology as a Samba system, if you know this system. This is based on polarized images, and then we can extract numbers relative to the shine on the gloss. And the main thing, it's not morphological dependent, so you can take several measurements on the face. And yeah, it's very useful for this kind of oily skin or sebum application. We also developed the UV cam. This is more for sunscreen evaluation. So this is a full UV, so we have a lighting in UVA, and we get images, high resolution images, 24 megapixel images in UV, and then you can see the absorption of the sunscreen in black here. And to follow the evolution of the sunscreen, it's also the good way to look at the migration of your product, especially under eye. And so you can apply and see the migration and take several photos over time to see this kind of claims. And here is new development we made this year, this first part of the year. The smart cam, the skin cam, so we will give you some demonstration after on the smart cam and the skin cam, but just to give you more information on this. The smart cam is a smartphone-based solution. You just plug on your smartphone, and it has a lens, a specific macro imaging lens, and two lightning for cross-polarized and parallel polarization. And it works on your smartphone. We have a dedicated application app to do that, and just in 2 seconds get those images. And then we can process them to extract the different attributes and quantification based on those images. And I will show you what we can do with this kind of images. The skin cam is, as Jean-Michel said, this is the goal of the skin cam. The first goal for us, the first purpose is to develop a system that we can give to the volunteer and to take measurement at home. So you have a product, you want to have multiple time points, for example, acne or other products that need multiple visits. And so you need, instead of coming every day at Allergisa, they can stay at home and take the measurements. And it's also cloud connected, so the system can send the images directly to the server, so you can follow the study every day. The system is very small. It takes several images in less than 3 seconds. I will show you in the demonstration. So we have cross and parallelized acquisition. We have also some specific wavelengths. We are working on it to extract some melanin or hemoglobin information on that. But the cool thing is we are also able to reconstruct some 3D skin surface, the real 3D of the skin surface. And this is smartphone based, but this is what we call appless, so you don't need to install a specific application. You just connect to the system, and with your web browser, you have even a QR code you can scan with your system, and then you have the interface and you can communicate with the system. So you would just have to select your visit on the zone and take the measurement. We have also a live mode, so you can see what you measure. I will show you in the presentation after, but then we are able to do the good positioning of the images of the probe over time. And I will show you some example of images we have. So we can do some dark circles based on cross-polarized image. So what we usually do, we select a region of interest in blue of the dark circle surrounding skin, and we do the contrast. We can also have an automatic pigment spot evaluation and detection evaluation, spider vents and spores. I will show you what we can do with this kind. And in blue, this is a detection which is fully automatic based on our algorithms. As I said, we can do 3D surface reconstructions, especially for acne or this kind of bump. We can also do some extraction of the rugosity parameters for smoothness, roughness of the skin, and to follow that over time. Just an example of what we can.
The pumping effect of hydration product that is going to reveal your skin in a very quick time. Let's say you make the measurement, you are in the shop, and the woman come back in 2 hours, and instead of having a big mountain, you have something completely flat. You show that your hydration product is going to tense. So this is a very critical cosmetics effect. But for hydration and sell the product with hydration plus all the actives that you can add inside, it's a fantastic help to accelerate the cells. Because you see the effect live in the next 20 minutes, 2 hours. And if you have tensor effect, because you are more with actives with tensor, you will see the microbiome of your skin completely change. And it's not live, but nearly live. And this is a fantastic tool to accelerate the cells in the shops.
And yeah, and we can assess, we did some validation study on dryness skin. We also working on 3D reconstruction and then correlated with hydration. And on here we are able to extract real 3D surface. This is the most important thing to be. And then it's very macro imaging, so it get very sensitive results on this with this kind of tools. We also develop eyelash cams. This is for eyelash evaluation, which is quite complex if you don't have the good system. So it's based on 3 cameras on specific angle, and you get this kind of images. And we develop a specific algorithm to track and to detect automatically the eyelashes, and then we can count them, follow the length, the volume, packet effect, and a lot of information on the eyelashes. We use it for mascara especially, and to see what is the long lasting of the mascara on the. And we have some example of side image. So we have full face, we have face image, but we have also profiles based on the 2 other camera, and you can see the evolution before and after applying mascara with the system. So it's this kind also, so we can do quantitative measurement, and as Jean-Michel said, we are able to do with nice images to do this kind of illustration and before-after time-lapse videos. We also developed the photo scale. This is a pairwise comparison tools online. So when we do a study, you do a study, we can get the images and use the images, for example, for CrossFit, and to evaluate and to do the grading based on pairwise comparison. It can be also a grading questionnaire based on those images. We just get the images, put it on the server on the photo scale, and then give the access to evaluators. It can be naive experts. They just connect to the website and they have their own login and password using their email, and then they have to click on follow the instructions. If it's pairwise comparison, they just have a question and they click on what they want to. What is the most beautiful, what is the most visible CrossFits based on the perceptions. And then you get the scoring on the ranking for each evaluators for your study. So this is a good way for us and for you to grab and to get the perception of the consumer, or if it's naive, or for the expert to get the gold standard for the ranking based on the images. And then for us, we can do the correlation between the human perception, the consumer perception, and the quantitative measurements. Because we use the same images to extract numbers and extract features on the images, and then we can correlate. It can be based on neural network or this kind of intelligence, artificial intelligence methods we can apply also on this.
If you remember, because it's so much information for you, at the beginning, the SciPass architecture, when you have color face, so Allergisa and color face, the link with the photo scale is direct. So we crop the image directly, and we send it to your consumer base. And in 5 days, you ask 300 people to classify those data together. And now you have feedback from the marketing to have a better communication with your consumer, because you know how to react the consumer on the study that has been done by Allergisa. So it's a fantastic tool to know the perception of your consumer, and very easy to install because it's on the web.
So now to do good quality image analysis. So this is also a claim we can do as a routine. We also develop, we are an innovative company, so we can develop some specific algorithm for specific claims. Here are all the claims we can do automatically, not automatically, but as a routine, based on the color face or other devices. For skin beauty, anti-aging, skin imperfections, makeup and hair care, and also health care. We have big studies in keratosis, pilaris, melanoma, spider vents, and acne is also one hot topic today. I will just go in details on each of on this and give you an idea of what we can do with what we can analyze for each claims. The first one, as I said, is image calibration. This is mandatory for us, just to be sure that even if you have the good imaging system, just to be sure that everything is good during the study, if the acquisition are reproducible. If there is some outliers, and we can detect it, and just remove the subject from the study, or if it's only a small change, we can compensate, and we have to do the calibration based on the color images. We also do what we call spatial registration. If you have a movement of the subject, a slightly movement of the subject, we can also compensate, mainly for illustration purposes. What we also do, I don't know if I have it here. Okay. If you want to do the color analysis of the cheek, for example, we draw a region of interest on the cheek at the baseline, and then we have a specific algorithm that just duplicate and follow this region of interest for all the time points. There is no manual interaction, only quality control to be sure, and to be sure the positioning, the ROI is well repositioning all the time points. So there is no more deviation based related to the operator definition, only at the baseline, and then we just duplicate the region and follow the region of interest over time. So we can do color evaluation, mainly LAB values on the images. We also do specific IT index, and we develop the IWA index for whitening, more sensitive than the other. We published on this last year, 2 years ago, mainly for whitening products evaluation. Color homogeneity, based on all the pixels, all the color on the images, we have a specific index based on this is the H76 index, so give you the numbers relative to the homogeneity, color homogeneity of your skin surface. And if you have for example, if you have some spots that disappear over time, it will just decrease this index, and it will give you some numbers relative to this. We also do texture evaluation based on our leak parameters, contrast and entropy. We can also do this kind of richness parameters, ERA, RZ, RT, based in 2D, and we also do that, of course, in 3D with a skin cam device, which is more sensitive. Gloss and shine evaluation. This is like cam images, a small prompt for the face, and we generate this kind of gloss map. We can do that with a color face, but with a color face we need to detect what is, because it's depending on the geometry, on the morphological of the subjects, so we need to define a specific region we will follow. Mainly this is the forehead and the upper cheek, and we follow the gloss intensity over time, so we generate this kind of gloss maps, and we can follow the intensity of the gloss and the shine over time. For mattifying product, we also look at because we have images, so we know in the images what are the shiny point or not shiny based on statistical analysis, and then we can follow the surface of the gloss. For mattifying effect, it will remove the intensity, which will be very low, but we can look at the surface, give you a good information on the for mattifying effect. This is one more information you can grab from images and for the algorithms we developed. We do pigmented spot evaluation. It can be on the end with a digicam system. It can be also on the face with the color face. We can do overall assessment of pigmented spots. It's fully automatic based on the contrast of the surrounding skin on the spot. We just have an algorithm that adapt and detect automatically the spots. We can also be focused on one spot. Usually we use spot selected by the dermatologist, and then we follow this spot over time. It's more sensitive to use 1 or 3 spots, but sometimes you can prefer to do the overall assessment of this. And what we do for dark spot, we look at the color inside and the contrast between the dark spots, the pigmented spots, and the surrounding skin. And you hope to decrease this contrast over time. We can also look at the contour, especially for soft focus products. It will just blur the contour of your dark spot, and then we can follow this based on profile analysis. We also do some illustration on the dark spot, so we can magnify specific regions and get this kind of color images, and to make it in 3D and to see the evolution of the bump of the spots based on the volume also, on the color, and to see to get some new illustration on marketing purposes to communicate based on the study. We also do dark circle evaluation. It can be done with 2D images like color face. So we usually have a specific algorithm that detects the dark circles. It's based on, it can be vascular or pigmented dark circles. And based on 2D, we prefer to do it with a hyperspectral, with a SpectraCam. Because with the oxygen maps, we can clearly detect the dark circle and to follow the dark circle over time. And it will give you some more information based on the skin constituent, skin component. Instead of the 2D images, it's only color analysis. It can be also texture analysis. We do some redness spider vents based on medical image techniques for vessel tracking. We just apply it in 2D with 2D images. It's called vesselness, and then we can detect the vessels, and then look at the shape. If you have more, it's the length, the diameter of the vesselness, depending on your product. And we can also look at the color of the vesselness compared to the surrounding skin. We can also do some full redness based on hemoglobin maps in 2D. We can also use a hyperspectral imaging system with hemoglobin maps to extract this redness and to be more. This is color-based evaluation, and to see the contrast between the redness and the surrounding skin, always the same, and to follow the color on the area of the evolution of the area on the contrast with the healthy skin. Blackheads, it's very hard to see in this slide, but we can detect automatically the blackheads on the nose. And then we can count them, look at the color, density, and the intensity of the color on this after detection. And we can also do that on strips. This is NOMAD-CAM images, standardized images, and then we can also detect automatically the blackheads on the strips, and to evaluate the length, the surface, the density, and the color of the blackheads. Based on UV images, we can do porphyrins evaluations. So we can detect automatically the porphyrins fluorescence on that. We also did some specific project for P. acnes based on fluorescence with specific wavelengths filter, because the P. acnes is very close to the proto-X porphyrins fluorescence, so we need a specific filter just to detect the P. acnes for acne evaluation. With UV images, we can also assess for photo damage based on the spots here, and we are able to detect the spots and to follow the spot for photo damage evaluation. Just, oops. An illustration of what we can do. So this is, oops, before and after. So this is 1 month application of a product, oral product for acne, anti-acne, and this is before. I will catch it or not. So you will see before and after application. So we do a perfect alignment of the two images over time, and then you can do this. And this is online, so you can play with this kind of before after application. And we are also able to generate this kind of time-lapse videos that you can integrate in your presentation. And this is kind of animation we can time-lapse.
What we would like to, well, what we would love to do, because we know we are innovation company, we are not new company, but if we deal with big pharmaceutical industry, the main problem that we saw is that if you are, I don't know, 12, 13, 15 years old and you have acne, you are going to use your product, and after 3 weeks you have a big spot here, and you stop to use because you say it doesn't work. So that you don't know that you decrease 20, 30% from the beginning, and you don't know what will be the next. Thanks to artificial intelligence and to this capacity we have to take photos with an iPhone, we can deliver to the young guy or young girl the information of the evolution of the acne during the time and the period of using the product, and we don't stop anymore the product because the teenager is going to see the evolution and the graph and all the information to prove that this product is very good. And sorry. And what is the most important now is that this person is going to do viral marketing to all his friends to say, hey, look, so nice, huh? This product is working so well. And we would like to give the possibility to marketing to use those kind of technology to invent the new storytelling for their consumer. And today there is a lack of, there is a frontier. We work with the lab, and the marketing is going to put so much pressure on the lab to deliver, and they will invent their words, their storytelling, but they don't use enough the technology that we can provide to make this storytelling happen. And this is where we are going right now. So we saw a fantastic acceleration in the Brazilian market. The reaction of people is very far away from the one we have in Europe. This is strange, but we are very happy about that. The risk and the envy for the marketing to use those technologies is very big. And what we would like to deliver is the storytelling, working closely with the CRO and the branding and the marketing to see how can we deliver these solutions to visitors for pharmaceutical companies, to shops for the shops that you are managing, and why not also you see these acne solutions can be a QR code. I know that at Natura or Boticario you have huge communication with books, and you can deliver under the claims that you are proposing for your product a QR code. You just flash the QR code and you see the before and after effect. This impact on the consumer is huge, and today we don't understand why there is not so much acceleration in the marketing. Why the marketing is not using this to have a better communication with the consumer. This is ready, this is there, you can use it, so just use it. And we can invent the storytelling with you, discussing with the marketing brands.
We also do some pore analysis based on parallel polarized images, and as the same as a pigmented spot, we can do automatic detection of the pores and to follow the numbers, the surface volume estimation, depth, and density of the pores over time, and to look at the dilatation, for example, of the pores. We do some wrinkles evaluation based on parallel and acquisition, and then we can detect automatically. This is what you see in blue, and then we can also provide this kind of maps showing what is the depth of the wrinkles in red, and this is very deep wrinkles, or if it's fine lines, we can see that, and we can also able to separate them and to follow them. We also do some crossfits, all the fine lines on the face, so it can be foreheads, nasolabial folds, and CrossFit, of course. I will show you an example of before after. Oops. I don't know if is it this one? Okay. And this is the before after effect. So before and after effect, and we can see clearly the evolution of the product on the skin for one subject. So this is kind of before after. We can also add some multiple time points with this kind of time-lapse videos. And just to show you what.
Tensor effect. 20 minutes tensor effect products.
We also do some 3D image analysis. We do not provide some 3D acquisition system, except for the spectra phase, for the high perspectral full phase system. But we mainly usually use fringe projection system, and we get the data from the surface, and we can do high puffiness evaluation, morphological evaluation, wrinkles evaluation, or also a lot of jaw sagging and sagging effect. It can be based on volume evolution, based on 3D evolution of your face, and we also have some specific protocols using a specific path, and then we look at the curvature of the path depending on the sagging, and it's more sensitive than using only look at the volume. So this is another protocol we use at Newtone to do that. Based on UV images, as I said, we can also do some quantification and specific regions. So this is for sunscreen evaluation, long-lasting evaluation. And you can see the two images in blue is the difference between after the application and 3 hours on the right. You have the 6-hour application, and you can see clearly the differences in red. You need to apply the product on the nose, and it can give you some information on how long the product stays on the skin, and you can do this for two products, for example, left and right, and to see the comparison between the two products. We also do some healthcare product. I have only one slide. It's not so sexy, but just to give you an idea on what we can do in terms of pathologies, assessment for dermatology space. Yeah, we can do the same, and we can apply our algorithms on this, especially for acne, pigmented spots, melasma. Also, we have some big topics on these subjects.
Main activity here is how to quantify very quickly instead of tremendous potential of acceleration in the dermatology world. And we have 7.5 billion people on the planet. And I don't know in Brazil, but dermatologists are going in the direction to have more money to do Botox, I don't know what, but not anymore acne, or because it's too much activity. And we need to deliver some solutions that are nearly live, count, quantify, see the evolution, remember from the last time, and have some software solutions that are so easy to use and remember and take photo. I know that this person was this one 2 months before, and I see the surface of the spot. I don't know the volumes and everything. And the skin cam solution that we will present you live as a demonstration is this kind of two very cheap solutions that can be deployed everywhere online very quickly with fantastic resolution and memory for the dermatologist.
So we also do some makeup analysis. Basically, yeah, the most of them are long-lasting analysis, and here it's to see if you apply your foundation, what will be how long it stays on the skin, and we generate this kind of illustration showing the film, the evolution of the film of the product over time. We can do that for foundation. We can do that. We also have some evaluation for removal products on the lips, mascara, and foundation, and we can assess this from. For a long-lasting effect, we can use UV also to have this information on the film of your products and to follow that over time. And we can also do some quantification, of course, of how long the film stays on what are the specific regions of the face when we need to apply the product on the product.
Here you see the face inside the color face. You are not anymore with the front-end chin. You can reuse this as marketing tool. Even if you do an in-face of this profile with different women, you will be able to map after the effect of the makeup on this face, and this face will be usable for marketing reasons and demonstrations and all the storytelling again that you can provide to your consumer.
We can also do that on the forearms, and we also do some migration of the product based on UV images, and here on the fine lines on the upper lips, and we are able also to detect this kind of product evaluation and migration based on those images. We do some lipstick evaluation, mainly based on color. We can also do some gloss. It's a little bit more tricky because it depends on the positioning of the subject. But for color evaluation, we use cross-polarized image, and then we are able to see what is the homogeneity, the color intensity over time evaluation, and especially, yeah, as I said, the film, if the product stays, and what are the region where the product stays, and how we can assess that. We do some, as I said, gloss evaluation, and also on the nail, using the Digicam system, we can evaluate color and shine on the nail polish and also lipsticks. Foundation, basically, we use homogeneity parameters, H76, to evaluate the foundation and to see the evolution of the application or homogeneity application of the product. We can also do on the eyebrows, on the upper eyes. We can also do some texture analysis. And for the eyebrows, we are able to detect the surface of the eyebrows, color intensity of the product.
We can make a break. Would I just make a break?
But we can follow.
We can finish after air. We are in the demo. So if you, I don't know, want to do the break just after the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a few slides and finish after we can go to demonstration.
So we also do some hair care, mainly in vitro. So we just evaluate hair traces. We have also some example of in vivo hair care. We are moving forward on this direction to do some in vivo measurements. It's complex, especially for shine evaluation, especially for curly hair here in Brazil, but we are working on it. Here is some example of what we can do for hair traces in vitro. So we can use a hyperspectral imaging system we use to do, instead of taking some measurement with the spectrometers in some point of your hair traces, we can do this kind of images, and for each point of the image we have a spectrum. So we are able to extract LAB values and to follow the profiles of your hair trace in LAB values, and extract also, we can, looking at this profile, we can see, for example, in L values, a shine or gloss band, and to see how it evolves after several shampoos, the color, diffuse color of your traces after application and after several shampoos. So we can evaluate this on hair traces. We also do some in vivo for white hair detection. So we take images on the top of the hair, on the scalp, and then we draw a region of interest, but we are able to detect the white hair automatically and to follow the white hair if you apply a product, how it evolves, number of white hair detected, and the colors, intensity also. We are able to extract all this information on quantitative measurements based on this. We do some hair growth. I will show you. We can use the skin cam, the small micro imaging system, to do this. It can be shaving effect, it can be on the legs, it can be on the scalp. And then we have this kind of images. We are able to detect in blue all the hair, and then to quantify the color, the intensity, but mainly what we do is to extract the length especially for hair growth and to see the evolution of the lens over time. We did a study on shaving efficacy based on manual razor electrical shaver. This is a blue cam. This is the first version of the skin cam, but this is the same images, and then we can follow the lens. And we did a poster on this last year showing the efficacy of shaving efficacy, or shaver efficacy based on those technologies. We also do some shine analysis on the swatch. The goal here is to move forward, as I said, in the in vivo mode. So we try to use the hair trace as it is without any sample holders. Basically they use a cylinder to evaluate the shine, but for very curly hair, it's very hard to get this information, and you get an information with some constraints if you use a cylinder of the specific sample holder. And the goal here is to evaluate in vivo, in real life. And we are moving on doing some feasibility study and proof of concept on this. We also have some systems to take images to evaluate curl and also volume of the hair traces depending on the humidity and the control humidity and temperature. And we also develop some specific algorithm for fluorescence analysis to see how your product will migrate and will be absorbed in the fibers. And based on the intensity of the fluorescence, we can extract some numbers, do some profile, automatic detection of the fibers, and try to do this kind of study as automatic as we can. But then you have to tune some things. The goal is to reduce the time to analyze this kind of images. And that's it. Thank you very much. We have a website which is quite new, just beginning of this year, and you will get all this information about our company and our services. And if you have any question, we are here. Thank you very much.
Pessoal, vamos fazer uma pequena parada agora para um coffee, tá? Em 20 minutos a gente volta para continuar. Okay? So we're gonna do a break now for 10 minutes, and after that we're gonna come back with the trainament. Probably after each equipment device that we show, I don't know if the device or have to at that time also new question that we can interact tomorrow.
Yeah,
Cool. Okay.
the idea is to do the handover, because we don't know who's going to be trained by what. And all the after coffee, it's still open discussion.
Okay.
We can go back to slides and we can make demos. We have lots of time.
Perfect.
We have lots of time now to do the demo and go back to specific questions. We can go on each slide
Okay.
in detail for
We focus more on color case now.
yeah.
How are you? Enjoying? Enjoying Brazil?
still in the box. But I will give you a demonstration of the skin cam. Just to show you what we can do. And this is still a prototype. We just released it last year, end of last year, and we are currently manufacturing 30 of them end of this month, and then 100 devices for clinical studies end of this year. And we spent 6 months to validate this on several studies. Dryness, acne studies, on all validation for hydration based on 3D. As this is a new device, we always prototype the device. We have 5 prototypes, and then we need to validate. So this is the most important in order to use the technology and to use this technology for clinical trials. So the SkinCam device is this device. So this is a small camera. You have a LCD display, just display some information, and you have one button. It's very easy to use. It's come also with this kind, with a calibration chart. As soon as you plug the system, he asks you for the calibration. This is the main thing we do to ensure that the device is working and to do the color calibration, as I said. You have also this QR code you can scan with your smartphone and to have this access to the website. When you start the device, you have to connect with your smartphone. You will see if you have a smartphone, you can connect on it. It's a SkinCam Wi-Fi generated, so you have just to connect with your smartphone or with your laptop. It can be also your smart TV if you want. And then you go to this application, web application. There is no app to install. It's fully embedded in the device. This is just for the prototype, and we have this for clinical studies. So you can choose your studies. I have only one study, and you can get your patient, a new patient, Lucas. And we can configure the visit on the area you want to do. There is all these options are available. Let me check if I can show you. And then we can just configure the full study, for example, number of visits. Patient, of course, you cannot, but you can also add some new area, for example, if I would say, and return. And then we can also manage some device options if you want to do some 3D reconstruction, imaging, and different elimination on cross-polarized image and parapolarized. And that's it. And then if you want to do an image, be not so easy with a mic.
5 minutes to understand how it works. 10, let's say. 15 if you are very slow. But this is an issue for us, is how to imagine technologies that are live, operational, and don't need nothing to understand how it works with interface, user interface, which is with just 5 icons or 5 questions. That's all.
So all this configuration is done by the CRO.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just have like to really to follow what's saying.
Exactly. And even the subject, this is we use for clinical trials, so you can use as one device for the full study. Mm-hmm. If you want to ship it directly to the volunteer, we can remove the study on the patient, because the patient you have to select and give to the patient. So the volunteer only see at home these two, and they have to select the visit on the area, if you have multiple areas. Then you can start live. And then you will see live what you measure. And you see the progress bar just below, it just gives you the quality of the image. And if the quality is good, it will take the image automatically.
The issue is the bumping area. If you press too much, then you have an issue with load, or this is a problem. And how to imagine to do a live focus with a user that don't know nothing about what is a camera on a photo. So we have this green progress bar. If it's green, it's okay. So if it's orange, it's on the way. If it's red, it's bad. So again, it's 2 minutes to understand. It's 3 colors, and first time you do it, it doesn't work. Second time, it works.
And I don't know if you see that, but so you have a live mode just to tell you if the image is good, and then take the image, only 3 seconds, it's done. And then you have this kind of smiley, just give you if you move during the acquisition, and you have, yeah, if it's unhappy and red, you have to take the image again. And then all the images are stored inside in the system. You can save up to 8,000 acquisition, so it will be enough for your study. And then you can view the images, cross-polarized image. You can see a little bit of dryness here. You can see the cross-polarized, the parallel polarization image here. So it's very high-definition images. We have also some other, especially for pigmented spots, this can be useful for to do that. And then we are able to do 3D reconstruction. The 3D reconstruction is not done internally because we need some power to do this kind of 3D reconstruction, but I can show you, for example, what we can do. This is one of reconstruction we did. So you can clearly see all the bumps, all those fine lines you see here on the, you can move, we can apply a color map, of course, and do this kind of calibration. And we can also do some, just to show you. So we can select a cutting plane and then follow the profiles here and follow the number, and we can move it, of course, and then update this. So we can do a lot of things, extract some numbers, follow the bump, especially for acne. We will look at this kind of region here to try to make it flat, and then we can do the differences, extract numbers, do all this curve, and also play with, if you take the base case, we can also generate some illustration before and after using this kind of application. And also, as I said, when you take an image, so it was a baseline. I have the second time point, the same region, the same subjects, and then you should see the baseline at the bottom to help you to do the positioning. I'm not the best for this, but
So after we imagine mask, gloves, or I don't know, area where how to help with the zero repositioning at home based on the frontal.
so you can take a lot of images, and you can also connect the skin cam directly to the cloud. And then you have to select, if you are at home, just click on the button, select your Wi-Fi. It's like Google Home or all the other system. As soon as you take an image, it automatically sends. So as a CROs and as a sponsor, you can follow. For example, if you have 30 subjects, 30 skin cam, you can see every day or every acquisition for all the subject, you will see the images coming. And so I think we are trying to do that. If you have, for example, a 2-month study on an acne product, you can see after 15 days or even after 1 month if it's working or not, and decide to stop the study because it's working. Or if you need more time, after 1 month, you can follow and just let the device, and you can track in real time what will be the images. And we are also working on the way to extract some numbers automatically. So as soon as an image is coming, extract some LAB values, all the smoothness information, roughness information directly on the images. The goal is to give like a real-time study. This is our goal, and we are working on it based on cloud computing and everything like this.
You have a flush effect. How do you do flush effect at the zero? Because the day you arrive at the zero, you don't have a flush effect or redness, or you see your oily skin is, I don't know, from 11 to 2 p.m. It's very strange. Normally between 2 and 5, there is no oily skin. Why? We don't know. All those things we don't know. We don't know how evaluate consumer wear on the planet based on temperature, humidity. So we can learn with this because we have so much capacity to take the images during all the day. And the quantity of images will help us to do artificial intelligence after to make the reconstruction, to make all the storytelling. And so it's a fantastic and very powerful system. What Mathieu didn't say for us, it's an evidence, but what you see on the screen is what you will have on your own iPhone or own Android or Samsung. So you have this probe, and when you move it, you use your telephone to do the visualization. So you don't need to sell, or you don't need to buy a bunch of telephone to your CRO, and the cost of this TV will decrease so much because we just use this probe. And this probe we want to give it for free. Okay, but this is a new model of activity. If we give it for free and we do image analysis, we package the image analysis. What is the best value for you? And today we try to understand how could we provide the systems for free or for a price that is nearly free in order for us to be able to do the image analysis. So you avoid all the price you give today for panels. And you give the access to the CRO to do a huge study everywhere because we ship those technology to 50 women, to 50 people, 50 subjects in the area, and we follow them for 1 month, and you just do image analysis. So for us, I think it's really critical to go in this direction for budget reason, of course.
Do you have any question? No. We can move to the...
Does it seem new for you or relevant? Or?
Just a question. Yeah. I'm Wagner. When we start, for example, a trial. For example, when we start a trial, then I start to do all of the tests using your skin can. Then the data will be in the cloud or in my computer. In the cloud. And when I think, for example, in clinical trials, it's very important to validate the cloud and the software and also the safety of the cloud. How can you guarantee that this cloud is extremely safe to have my data there?
So we have this kind of audit, and we have all the documentation certification for this to have a secure server. This is what we developed for the color phase. So this is the same cloud as we use for other devices. And we have some certification on this. If you want, for some customers, not for a specific sponsor, you can own your own cloud, but we need to manage also. So we need to discuss with your IT department if you want to. If it's mandatory for us, it's not the easiest way for us because we need some access on the specific access. Sometimes some sponsor didn't give us the access, but we have also documentation for the certification, especially in Europe where is the new RGPD compliance we need, so we did that, yes.
Okay, thank you.
This is your question is essentially mandatory. Even if we don't see the face, this is data that are very critical for you. It's full HTTPS encrypted data in a specific cloud. So for what? Okay. So just to explain you the first activity we have, and this is also for CRO, where with an iPhone and this capture. So this, thank you so much. So this is coming from Apple. We just plug a plastic part, and after we have this technology that is full Newton one. We just turn 3 times. Okay, now it's fixed. I open this. I have a direct connection between the iPhone and this system, and now I can make some measurement. So we can just show you a movie. It's on the... Just for you to understand. So this is not for home, because the problem I need to be in front of a mirror, and it's a nightmare. or I need someone in my home to make the measure for me. So at CRO space, fantastic because we have very high quality. But this was the first technology we developed. In the same time, we were facing with the problem of the telephone because the price of this will be 10 times, 100 times, I don't know, more expensive than this one where we don't use nothing. And this is critical because it's nice to invent a new technology, but if no one can pay for it, this is the issue. But it's nice, this is very cool, and we can do this is a short movie as a demonstration for you to understand how it works. All those technology were developed the last 2 years. So it's Bluetooth connection directly with the smartphone. We use the intelligence of the smartphone to bring the information. And now we are in the CRO space. We simulate. So we have both acquisition in 1 second, cross and parallel polarization. You see immediately live the two photos. So we can train the people when they are at CRO space, give them the system to do it by themselves in front of a mirror or to do it at CRO space. Two icons. Why making things complex when it can be simple, you know? And here are the images extracted from the system, so the quality is very nice. At the time we developed this, we didn't have a skin cam yet. So sometimes we develop quicker than ourselves things that are more relevant for the market because we make the test and we see it's not really what the market expects, so we continue to develop. Okay, so this is nice, but we can go deeper in details, and this is why the skin cam has been developed.
So what is also interesting about this kind of technology is that we can apply that on consumer testing. So we can have the interviewers that will be doing the questionnaires that are used done in the house of the consumer. So they can take this kind of technology to the house of the consumer and take pictures and make measurements. So the idea is to put the clinical study inside the consumer testing and being able to correlate their feeling about efficacy, their feeling about acceptance and other consumer concerns and make a good correlation with clinical data. So in the way that we can understand with the clinical study data in the future how the consumer would perceive that as an efficient product. So this is a very important point, something that is getting on vogue in terms of being questioning every day. So our idea is also to apply that in the consumer science tests in order to make this kind of produce this kind of data and correlations. Okay.
Thank you, Luca. Next one is we were talking with your company just at the beginning for how to deliver visitors who goes to doctors or how to deliver directly in the shop. A possibility to say I have a new hydration product. I would like to see live the effect on my face. The problem is if you want to communicate with your consumer and you ask the consumer to register an app, to connect to a website, okay, it's lost. It's too long. It's too complex. I don't understand nothing of what you said. You need to go in the shops you love and you flash the product and immediately you open your telephone as a selfie and this is what you should see your face. So I'm going to show you my face and oh, Okay, your face and my face, and as soon as it arrives on my face, it will recognize my face, and I say, okay, my skin is very dry. I will use the mean effect or best effect of the study that you have just done, and you want to communicate to your user. So if you go on our website, you will see those photos, you will see the movie, but now I would like to give you possibility with your own smartphone to flash and to receive, and you don't have nothing to install. It's very easy, and the technology we have on the market today is able to deliver that. So you see here my face, and I would like to see, I don't know if you already see it. So you are going to see that directly on the smartphone. So you press the green button, and you will see the effect in 24 days of the hydration product on my skin. So you see, so I can move my face, and it will follow my face. And after 24 days, the more it's blue, the more I'm hydrated. So I have the proof that it works. It's done. I buy the product. At the same time I buy the product, I will have 15% discount on the e-commerce of your brand because you sell also on internet, and I catch the people. And I put this in the shops, so you cannot imagine this in Asia. It's just a fantastic story, and everybody wants it. So we want to deliver this for sebum mapping, hydration mapping, all the technology that you have that are very simple and that are using all the CRO worldwide, like chronometer or sedimeter, or we can apply those data directly live and see after the effect on your face. So you can just press the green button and you will see the effect on your skin. This is a very nice tablet, very costly, but you can have this in a shop, or you can have this directly on your live on your mobile. Just need to click the green button. So you see the evolution of the iteration live. You want to add something, Lucas? Or? No? So tu peux revenir sur la slide avec les spots, le min face avec les spots, une illustration. Les spots, beaucoup plus bas. Tu peux y aller plein pot là, en bas, en bas, en bas. Ah, vas-y, descends. Non. Descends. Non, descends. Go. Va tout en bas. Non, mais là tu remontes. Ouais, ce que je dis, descends la présentation. Tu vas jusqu'à spot. So yeah, this one. So here on the screen you see another kind of application that we have. You see on the left we are dealing with an Asiatic woman, but this woman doesn't exist. She's a mean face. We apply the best case or the mean case of the study we've just done on the spot, and you see that on the spot we have an effect that is not so visible, and the brain is like, oh my god, we have an effect, it's fantastic, but we don't know how to present this to our consumer. So we use the mean face, we apply the base case on the mean face, and after we make a zoom directly the white round that you see on the screen, and after you see the zoom on the area that is more nice on the right than on the left. But in order to see this, we can also invent a new process to present the evolution of this spot, for example, with some volumes or some colors or some form that we can invent to present the way it works for the consumer in a nicer way than before and after photo where you don't see nothing. So, and this is exactly what we want to send directly to the user through this kind of selfie mapping. So if you have any questions, so now we just gave you a demonstration of what we can do as an illustration For each claims that you saw, we have a before and after uh, slider. You can have access on our website on few of them, and we also do a booklet, what we have developed for the CROs. We do a specific format for each claims, and after you have just to take the QR code of the claims, and you will receive on your mobile directly the before and after effect. All those activities that we are doing right now are, of course, to accelerate the sales of our main customers. And this is why we are concentrating all our effort of research in illustration and push all our technology to CRO in order for them to be in direct contact with you locally. Because for us, it's just impossible. We should be 200 or 300 people worldwide to deliver this. So we prefer to be in connection with the CROs and to work every day. So we continue to hire people. We should be in the next year 35, 40 people. But it's like Decathlon, you know, everything thinks it's an American brand, but it's French, and those people are just fantastic. They have invented solutions to sell the bicycle of Peugeot or I don't know, another brand, and during this time they learn, and now they are selling some bicycles 9,000 euro, but they are the best in the world, and they have just invented some research every day. This is what we are doing, and now we don't have any shops. Our shops are the CRO. We deliver all our technology and knowledge to the CRO, and the CRO will invite you, will talk your language, will be in your culture, and will help you every day to deliver value for your consumer. And this is where we are. We want to deliver all this intelligence to the CRO, and the CRO is working directly with you. So if you have any question at the beginning of any study, we do kickoff meetings. It's three companies together, you, the CRO, and ourselves. We understand what is your expectation. The CRO can build the protocol and all the intelligence of the study, make all the study, and we deliver all the value that you expect at the end for illustrations. And for that, we just need to know who you are, what you expect, and be having a direct link with your marketing, with yourself, to deliver maximum value as possible. And I should add, in Brazil with the cheapest price, because this country is not the same as all the other one. The price is very important. So we also think about how to deliver value, where we will give you only the value that is critical for you, and all the rest that is not so critical, we avoid it in order for you to have better pricing. So this is where we are working right now. If you have any question, or if you want, we can go in details for specific claims. We will be very happy. We are here just for that, so feel free to open the discussion, ask any question you have. I will be very happy to go in details for a specific request you can have.
Regarding this skincare, I'm the bad guy who has always a question. Regarding the skin can, I can see, for example, if I want to check the wrinkles, can I use the skin can or no?
Yeah. So we did some, it depends on what kind of wrinkles. We did some CrossFit studies. The key issue for the wrinkles and for all the images with the skin cam is the positioning and the repositioning. As we are able to do 3D reconstructions, we get more information, but we need to have a good positioning of the subject. So the training as a baseline for the consumer is a key issue. So we need to be sure that if you use the skin cam in your study for wrinkles or even for acne, the spot is, this is small spot in the field of view, so it should be easier than the wrinkles. But the positioning is a key issue. So we need to train the consumer at the baseline, so they need to be here at the CRO space to do the training and to be sure this is good. And you have the baseline image that can help you to do that. And we are working also on ghost image to give more information, but it really depends on the claim you want to assess. Because, based on we try to make simple the image quality control as a smiley. If we can do that also for the positioning, it will be great, and we are working on it. But we did some study, and it was quite working. The goal here is to try to have more subjects, and we know that 5 or I don't know exactly, but 5 to 10% of this subject will have not a very good positioning, but we have still 30 subjects. If you do a 40 subject study, 30 subjects will have good images. And also, for the skin cams, we can also ask to have 3 replications, 3 measurements. It's very quick, so they just have to click, 3 times, and we have 3 images, maybe with different positioning, and we just grab and pick up the best image based on the timelines. More questions?
What are the advantages about the color phase between VCR or other devices that you have in the market? Even I know the full phase, but what more we can bring for the market that you can show in the color phase?
So let's say very simply, because I don't like to ever oversold the technology, the gold master on the market today is VCR. This is critical. And we thought we could get out with the color phase in 2 years, and we did it 5 years. Why? Because we make the image analysis from the market. And the image analysis team said, no, I don't like the color phase. It was our own technology, because it was not yet enough easy to use and reproducible and repeatable for repositioning. But the quality of the image is very good. It's the same kind of photos, Canon or Nikon, it's all the same. And the issue we fixed was a chin and front support. This is mandatory to do mean faces. All the connections on the cloud to have live data sharing with the sponsor and the CRO in the same time, and Newtone. Capacity to do region of interest. We deliver free software to the dermatologist to say, I know what is a lentigine, I know what is, an acne, melasma, and I would like you to analyze this area. And sometimes people are making area that are not which one you expect. So we deliver a region of interest free software inside the solution. Okay, it's full connected on the web. It's live. We do quality control. We have a color chart inside the system to do color registration. So, okay, it's not nice to say that, but with other systems, between 2 images, you can have a delta L of 7. And it's just because you have a flash which is not the same from T1 to T0 or T0 to T2, T3. And how do you know if your whitening study is because your product is very good, or it's because the system is not giving the same flash each time? So this is why we have this color bar, color registration. But I could say VISIA is the same, because now we deliver the color chart inside the VISIA CR. Okay, so you can do studies with VISIA CR. For us, it's not an issue. The color phase system is also kind of community. So it's strange, but we are not an industrial company. We are not doing so much millions, and we don't care about having millions of color phase on the planet. I will not be more happy, because it's more complex, it's more difficult to manage, it's more difficult to do maintenance and everything. So our objective is to have 30 color phase worldwide, only in the place that are critical for you. So today, if we want to do multi-ethnic studies worldwide, we are connected worldwide, and you will have exactly the same technology to make this study worldwide connected. And no one is able to bring this to the market today. So we don't compete to say, okay, next year you have a new version of color face, and the year after, you know what, it will be the version 5, and the year after it will be the version 6, and you are completely lost because you don't know which version you are using in which CROs. And you can have much difference between the systems. We have only one technology delivered to the world, and if we do an upgrade, it will be upgraded to the world systems that are 30, 40 systems worldwide. The next step is that now that the CRO are equipped, this is fantastic, the sponsors would like to be equipped. The sponsor said at the beginning, oh yes, it's very nice for you to equip the CRO because we like this technology. And now that all the CRO are connected, now the sponsors are buying those technology to do the screening, because it's live also, and you can make the screening and after say to your CRO, I really loved what I've done on my screening. Now I would like you to make a test, multi-ethnic, multi-zone, multi-centric. And This is more the philosophy and the way we have developed this technology that is really innovative, but the quality of the image is the same. We are not going to say, yeah, we are 33 million pixels instead of 24. This is bullshit. This is 10 millions, 24. If you zoom and you see the pores, that's all. We are not going to compete to say now we have a new technology at 33 millions, like the phones you see, the last Samsung is 33 million. But this is for consumers who don't understand nothing. 33 million or 10 million is the same. Where we are working is the lighting and the repositioning. Repositioning is key at the CRO space, how to do between 2 time points, very good repositioning. This is mandatory. And how to help the operator at the CRO space to do it very nicely with phantom, with the line on the mouth, with the ears plugs. All those things are developed all the time. And if we developed a new software that is more intelligent than yesterday, we ship it to you for free. And we tell to the CRO, now we have this, you said last year or 2 months ago, you had an issue with this. We fix it, we send you the release, and you can operate tomorrow, and you don't pay any upgrade or nothing. All this philosophy is, I think, the main difference we have with other tools that are built by company who wants to make volumes and money with new release. We don't care. We don't care. Probably we come back next year, we will have sold 10 more color face because we are going to develop Asia, and in Asia everybody wants to have it. And today in China, this is the Visia, but we begin to receive call from company we never heard about, and from China, and we just discovered that this company is as big as the biggest one in Europe, and they begin to invest in this area. So we go very slowly, but very nicely. We keep agile. We are 24, and we just want to deliver value that is functional and that works. I think this is the main critical area where we are. And we need to be connected with company like Allergisa because the reputation of Allergisa worldwide is so important that I was very aggressive with you to say, I need you to have a color face. I didn't care about selling a color face, but it was mandatory for us to have our sponsor connected with this technology with Allergisa. And we did it. Nicely.
Would you like to see any like kind of claims or like wrinkles or other illustrations? Or everyone is happy?
So, I'd like to thank you for everyone here. We're gonna have a lunch after now, just to integrate everybody, to talk more with Jean-Michel and Mathieu. I can say that we are very happy with this partnership. I knew Mathieu last year in Amsterdam or London, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. So we are very happy, and once that we launched that we are with this new partnership, we receive a lot of questions, a lot of information that very happy that we can offer in Brazil the color face and the image analysis from Newtone. And I'm very exciting and know that it will be a very good relationship, and we're gonna get a lot of good vibes and good financial for sure financial incomings. So thank you very much, Jean. Thank you, Mathieu. And now just let's go work and be very happy. And yes, bring a lot of values. And thank you for the live, the broadcast, for everybody that could follow us and then connect. So we're gonna plan more broadcasts for the market. Okay?
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming, and thank you, Lucas and Erlandi, for inviting us and to do this presentation. I think it's, yeah, as Michel said, it's very important to have this close collaboration between you as a sponsor, of course, but between also us, Allergisa, and us, and all the CROs, but especially in Brazil with you. Just to provide, we are a small company, but we do some nice things, and I think it could be a good thing to have this kind of collaboration to bring some new value for you. And that's it. I hope we will do some studies with you, and thank you very much.